Hi guys! Today I'm going to do a review of It's Upside Down, Strange Then Fiction by Chris Colfer because this book was such a surprise. We did a tag the other day about the mid-year book freakout tag, and I mentioned this as the book that I was most surprised about because Chris Colfer is a really established author now. He's got a middle grade series that he's written that's getting like so much hype. Obviously I'm not dead into middle grade, and this book was more up my street. I thought this was going to be young YA. I was so totally wrong. It's all about a group of friends who love this program called Whiz Kids, and they go to WizCon together. It's basically like the fandom of Harry Potter, and it's all about fan fiction and the fandoms, and I love how Chris Colfer's like aware of like how much his fans like ship him and like adore him and everything he's been in. But anyway, it's about these four characters, and one of them's called Topher. And they're all graduating, they're all going off to their colleges, so they've all got this deep-seated worry that they're not going to be friends anymore when they're all spread across the entirety of America. But Whiz Kids is holding them together, they're like weekly watch. And I love how like they've got the four friends like who live close to each other, but then also they've got two friends who Skype them in from like abroad, and like the diversity in this book is just amazing. Like one of them is from like a Middle Eastern country, and she has to download it because her country doesn't allow it, and then there's another person from like somewhere else that I don't even remember, like far in the world. It's just got so much representation of just like all races and all ethnicities. But then the four main characters, Topher, I've already mentioned him, and I'm saying Topher because it reminds me of Gopher, but anyway, he has a younger brother with, I think it's cerebral palsy, like a muscle degenerative disease, and he looks after him, and that's why he's worried about going to college. And then there's another guy called Joey, and he's like black, but his dad is really Catholic, and so is he, but Joey's gay, and obviously his dad's like does not like that at all, and like he feels ostracised from his family and his church because of it. And the next character is Mo, and she's the only girl in the group of friends, and she is Japanese, and she wants to be a creative writer at university, but unfortunately her dad lost her mum. And he's really sad about that, and he wants her to go study economics and be a high flyer like he was, and he's really sad and he can't deal being an only father. And the last person in the group, Sam, is actually transgender, and he's struggling coming out to the group because he knows that Topher has really fancied him the entire time. And it all centres around the plot line of Topher asking the main character of Whiz Kids, Cash Carter, their idol, their absolute hero, to come on a road trip with them to celebrate leaving and graduating. And then Cash actually goes with them, and they cannot believe it, and the whole road trip about is just them coping with how Cash Carter isn't who he seems in person, and how they've idolised him on TV, but then the main guy, we see him at the start because we meet Cash first, taking drugs to do the actual Whiz Kids convention, and no one thinks he's a very nice guy, but then they get to realise how fame's made him that way. But then also the ending of this book just tore my heart out. It's so sad, and I did not see it coming at all. It was just, I can't explain it. It just made you realise why everything was happening in the book, but the way that everyone was communicating throughout it, and the hilarious things they got up to, because the road trip was a really key thing about this book. If I see road trip, I will immediately buy it. It's definitely one of my book buzzwords because I love road trips in books, and they go to really amazing places, like they go see the big rubber ball in America, and then they actually like tear it off its stand, and like then it's like an Indiana Jones scene, and it's just hilarious. And then they go to like an abandoned theme park and get high, and it's the first time all these like goody kids have like done anything like that, and it's just really funny to see them being led astray by Cash, but also have like the time of their lives. And like obviously the road trip brings them all together, and I just can't get over how much Chris Colfer like put into this like tiny book, and how quick I read it, because I did buy it because I love Kurt Hummel off Glee. And then I was like, I idolise Kurt Hummel, but I don't know the real Chris Colfer. And then I got all deep about it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars because I actually couldn't fault it. There wasn't a single part about this book that I didn't think was amazing and I didn't enjoy. And I would definitely recommend it. Just for anybody really, it's fabulous. So that was my review of Strange Then Fanfiction by Chris Colfer. If you've read it, I'd love to have a discussion about it below with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!